Hello guys and welcome to today's video. And then today we're talking about Cyclone Storm Tauktae. And as you can see here, it's getting that look like really quickly. This is the main blob where the center is probably located here in this dense, you know, CDO that's forming here around the center of circulation here. Here's the particulars. It's located 12.1 north, 72.3 east. The maximum sustained winds are 45 knots or 50 miles per hour. Minimal central pressure is 989 millibars. So it's definitely got the look going. And as you can see, it's rotating nicely here, and it won't be long before this really kicks up and starts going because um, it's definitely got some warm waters, which we will take a look at later on. And not only that, I think the shear is pretty low too, and the trend is hitting more west, so it's definitely gonna have more time over water than anticipated, and that's not really a good look to have. Uh, Let me see. We're gonna look at the Joint Typhoon Warning Center forecast here, and as you can see, it has this system making landfall in India as an 80 knot storm. Um, this could be stronger depending on how much farther west this is gonna go, because there's plenty of hot water in the North Indian Ocean to really sustain something powerful. Like I said, we're gonna be looking at those a little later. And at max peak here, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center has at 110 knots, which I think let's find out what that is real quick. I should have had this up. 110 knots, 2 miles per hour. That's 126 miles per hour. They're probably gonna round it down to 125. So that's what that is looking like right now. So here's a look at the GEFS, my track and minimal MSLP, and as you see, the starting area is a 994, which is obviously stronger than that now. But this black line is what you see here is the average mean of everything that you see here, and it has the mean has the minimal pressure down to 956 millibars. So that's a solid Category 3 system in the San Francisco scale, but they don't go by that here in India, so that pretty much goes out the window. And as you can see, there's some blues and purples that are showing up here, which most of them seem to be in the red category. So we're looking at anything between 960 and the 930s. So this tells you how serious this situation is right now going forward. So now we're going to take a look at the GPS, and it's just like the other one. It has its average mean line here, and the maximum minimal pressure here is 977 millibars, which is still pretty low. That's a solid Category 2. Um, as you can see, the GEPS is not nearly as strong as the GEFS for for its own reasons here. And some of these members want to take it into India. Some of them want to take it into Pakistan, Oman. But these are more like outliers now, to be honest, because the models have pinpointed a landfall here between Pakistan and India. So those people might want to watch out and pay attention to this as we go out through time. Here is the sea surface temperatures, and as you can see, these are super hot waters. That's super hot waters is an understatement, really. As you can see here, there's pockets of 31s and 30s, and even some 32s popping up here. 32 degrees Celsius, I think, is closing in on 90 degrees. These are bath water temperatures, guys. And if this storm has the perfect conditions In these warm, hot waters, this thing is gonna explode. It's gonna really explode here. And as you can see, there's no let up in these sea surface temperatures at all until landfall. It's all 29s, 30s, 31s, and 32s. So there's the sea surface temperatures are definitely not going to stop this thing. So you can just throw those out the window. Throw those out the window. Those are not going to matter. Wind shear might be the determining factors in an eye wall replacement cycle are probably the only two things that are going to stop this thing from growing. Um, and that's just my opinion on this. All right, so let's take a look at the GEFS here, and as you can see, it's done pretty good with the estimates here. So at a 988, and on top of tropical tidbits, it has a 989. So it's pretty much right on the dot here. So let's take a look at the wind shear values here, and it's battling some moderate wind shear here at 25 knots. So it's gonna be a little bit slow to get going, but I bet here at hour 24, yep, hour 24, it starts to really pick up steam, and now we're under 20 knots, which we're at 19 knots, which is pretty good wind shear for a tropical system to withstand. And we got ourselves another, tropical industry down here in the South Indian Ocean, but we'll pay attention to that another time. Here we are, 2 days out, 960 millibars, and the wind shear is 11 knots. So this thing is, according to the GFS, this has little shear to disrupt it going forward. 72 hours, we're at a 934. So this is a pretty solid category 4. And look at that, 9 knots. We're under 10 knots of shear now. So this thing, you could probably just throw wind shear out the window too at this point, unless some unforeseen wind shear, decides to pop up and say, hello, I'm going to weaken you substantially, hopefully, before it hits Pakistan and India, which I don't think it's going to be the case. All right, so let's go to 96 hours. Yeah, 96 hours. And it's 935, so this is still a solid category 4. And it's working with 10 knots still, so, no savior from the wind shear here, according to the GFS. So let's go to 120. And it looks like it's going to, according to the GFS, it's probably going to make landfall in Pakistan. And it's working with 13 knots of shear. So this is as far as I'm going to go out with this. Just for, you know, consistency's sake. When you have a storm like this, you like to see consistency. And when you go outside 5 days with a storm like this, it stops being like all consistent. So we're going to stop here, and we're going to go take a look at the ECMWF, which is the European model. Sadly, we do not have wind shear values on this one, so we're just going to have to go day by day. And as you can see, it has a starting pressure of 996 millibars. And this is valid as of 12Z Friday, May 14th. So here's 12Z Saturday, May 15th, and this is 981 millibars. The European, thankfully, keeps it close to the India here, so it probably won't get a chance to strengthen all that much. 48 hours out, it's 984, 974, and I think that's pretty much going to call it for that. 974 is a category 2, and yeah, don't get me wrong, a category 2 is still a bad situation, but it's better than getting a high end cat 4 or a low end category 5. So like I said, the people in India do not need this right now. They have an extreme COVID cases going on right now, and they're gonna need to probably, if this pans out, they're gonna have to evacuate how many millions of people in the location of the storm if it decides to take this track. So that's something that we need to pay attention to going forward. And it makes landfall in northwestern India, 985, 995, and then it's pretty much going after that. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna have two videos tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, we're gonna have another update on Tauktae, and then in the evening, we're gonna have an Atlantic hurricane outlook and discussion, plus another update on Tauktae. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and have a nice evening.